man. He's a very, very hard worker. He has fun when he's in the building. I'm enjoying watching him progress with every single meeting.
He makes you feel small. Shadeur Sanders, you're probably tired of hearing that name at this point, but as rookie minicamp has ended, a lot of narratives were able to be put to bed, and some of those narratives were brought about because of Shadeur's fall. And I think it was a lot of people trying to, make sense of the fact that Shedeur was projected to be at worst a early second round quarterback, maybe, or, late first round, and then went all the way to the fifth. That reasoning had people saying that he was this, he was that, pointing to some of the lies that at this point I think have been are at least proven wrong to any person who wants to put their name on the comment. So what we're going to do is let's talk about some of the lies that started this thing. And I want to point out something important too, that if y'all go back and watch my videos during the draft season and during the pre-draft process, I told y'all, do not believe anything. Don't believe anything that you see. Right? Because once you start believing those things, right, all of those lies will just be used against you. So that's all this is. These are lies that are used against people to set certain things up to ensure that certain narratives can be pushed. So let's go back. Let's take you back. So first things first, this one was one of my favorites. So another long time AFC executive echoed the sentiment, and we're going to get into the whole, because y'all know what I'm talking about, the arrogant, he doesn't want to be there. But this is my favorite quote. It didn't go great in our interview. He wants to dictate what he's going to do and what's best for him. He makes you feel small. He makes you feel small. That is what gave it up. That's why I want to start right there, because when I was even doing this, we were laying all this out, that comment right there, it's like, why did you say it? Why did you think it was smart to say that a personal reason that Shadeur Sanders made you feel small, or that he can't do that? Because what does that have to do with the meritocracy of football? Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So let's talk about that. Obviously, the obvious lie, or maybe not obvious lie, but the assertion is, one longtime assistant coach said his time with Sanders was the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. Now, I wanna point this out. We don't know exactly how this quote is given, but we got to be specific on how he's putting the quote together. He was talking about an interview. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about interview. So worst formal interview. The reason he says he's so entitled, he takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. Okay. And in this right here, and this is why I say narratives are crazy. Was there any proof? Again, this is anonymous, so you can prove it. Was there any proof of being a bad interview? None. He says it's a bad interview. He says he's so entitled. He gives no reasons why he was so entitled. And he gave no reasons why the interview was bad. And then he goes on to list things about his play, which is separate. It sounds like someone had a personal, I don't know. It just sounds like somebody got their feelings hurt. Like when you put all these comments together, it really sounds like, so for the people who are saying collusion, oh, don't say collusion. Dog, somebody clearly got their feelings hurt. Because you can't start off by, oh, dog, this is the worst formal interview ever in my life, and give no examples of why it was the worst interview in your life. You go on to say he sacks, blames teammates, which the blames teammates thing, again, is a lie. That's a lie. And we've already debunked that lie. But how can I trust somebody's comments who's commenting lies? He throws his teammates under the bus. Do you talk about the Nebraska postseason? I've done a video on that. Sorry, if you watch the full thing, he's not. He was asked a question about the run game. So are you telling me I'm supposed to trust somebody who takes clips out of context and uses those to paint him? And again, my point being, if it was the worst interview of all time, why even bring up bad? Oh, he's bad here. Teammates. you don't have to bring that up because it was the worst ever. What did he do? But let's continue. Let's continue. And then here's the one that we just read. It didn't go great. He wants to dictate what he's going to do and what's best for him. He makes you feel small. Even some of Sanders fans expressed disappointment he didn't take a bigger step forward as a senior. I liked him the year before, and NFC GM said they did change coordinators. It just felt different. It felt less athletic, less arm talent. Everything felt less. If you're talking about this year's tape versus Jackson Dart and Shedeur, I don't think it was particularly close. When people started comparing Jackson Dart to Shadeur Sanders, I had to be reminded that oftentimes NFL people don't watch college, right? When you're just watching tape, sometimes, or just watching highlights, which some of y'all do, I don't think you get a full scope of the feel of the game sometimes. Because for the love of everything that's holy, I go watch Jackson Dart pee down his leg against Florida. Please. The only time I was like, well, not the only time, but the same disappointment I had in Shedeur, which there is times that there's disappointment in Shedeur. Look, that's fine, right? Funny enough, was the bowl game, was the Alamo Bowl. I feel like he shouldn't even play that, to be honest with you. I think that one game, if I'm being honest with you, I think that one game, because he did take a lot of sacks, even more unnecessary than usual in the Alamo Bowl. Even more, it seemed like he was playing extra hero ball. It was kind of weird. I think that hurt him, and everyone just had a bad taste in their mouth. Oh, they got smacked by BYU. He's a bad quarterback. I really do think that there was just no due diligence done, because when your thought process is, oh, they did change coordinators, it just felt different, less athletic, less arm talent. That doesn't even make sense. This is the same season in which not only did Shedeur throw, was that 45-yard touchdown right over the top of the end zone to Will Shepherd against UCF. Not only that, but then the Hail Mary rolling to his left in the rain. That was 50 air yards. He threw for 45. Hey, Johnny Unitas golden arm. But again, that is when you read these in hindsight, it don't even make sense, dog. I'm sorry. Now that I'm going back and reading this stuff, it seems like somebody made a troll account. And then like an NFL Centel, and somebody was like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what it is." And let's hear Todd McShay talk about it. Before we get into the debunking of the lies, let's hear Todd McShay.
The two people that I spoke to were in meetings and had these individual meetings that I just laid out to you, what they are, who's in there, and why they're important. Teams in the top 10 drafting that need a quarterback. The two people that I spoke to in these positions left the meeting feeling like Shadeur Sanders was not overly concerned with what they thought of him. They had a 15-minute meeting with him, and when they were done, they both said in different ways, different words, that they did not feel like Shadeur Sanders cared all that much about what that organization thought of him. Fascinating, right?
Right. And that's not said in any kind of a positive light, correctly. It wasn't like they came in there and he knew who he was and he wasn't concerned about impressing us. It's more of a negative tone, the way you're saying that, right? You're saying it in a way that he did not come in with, ready to impress, ready to show us what kind of a young man he is, what kind of a leader he can be, all of the positive things. That's what you're saying, correct?
This was not okay. I'll make a joke in a second. But I do. All right, so let's go through this in the right order. A couple of the quotes that I put in there. One said that it wasn't a professional approach. One person that I talked to said the best way I can describe it is it just wasn't it wasn't a professional approach. Shedeur Sanders did not take a professional approach to this interview. The other person I talked to said he wasn't taking it seriously at all. I didn't get the sense that he was taking it seriously. So when you hear it wasn't a professional approach.
I want to point out something about those comments. Again, we keep hearing these comments, right? And this is what we talk about. We talk about something that is just kind of just in the air, right? What does being professional mean? And I know we know what being professional means, right? Obviously. But again, unless he was in those interviews being disrespectful, which Todd McShay is going to later talk and say, actually, it was nothing disrespectful. So if it's not disrespectful, but it's unprofessional in a meeting, what is it? Shout out to the 300 concurrent. Appreciate y'all in the live chat. What is it then? It just rubbed you the wrong way? Because if it's not, if it to be unprofessional, at least in my eyes, the way that I was risen. Wow, I'm not Jesus. I'm sorry. Hey, shout out to him, but I'm not him. I was not risen. But the way that I grew up, I should say, right, was, if you're gonna be unprofessional, you're gonna disrespect. That's disrespecting my time. That's disrespecting this place that we're at. That's disrespecting the area. To not come to a place prepared to handle your business is, again, to be disrespectful. So I'm confused as to, hey, he's just not. It's almost like you're not taking it serious. I don't feel like you're taking this serious. That's like something that you say to manipulate somebody in an argument. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nah, you don't even want to have this conversation right now. That's like some annoying manipulative. Nah, you don't even want to. I don't even think. He's not disrespectful. He didn't call you out your name. He didn't do anything. I just didn't feel. I don't know. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like he was, and if I can translate to my best ability, because we know Shedeur, we've been watching Shedeur. Was he very laid back? Was he not tense in the moment? Because this is something that he's been doing since he was, I don't know what. When did Coach Prime get a reality TV show? Like he been doing this. So the fact that we have to now pretend after all this, I don't want to call it slander, but slander, after all the slander he's seen, we have to come back and act surprised that, oh, wow, he is respectful? Who'd have thunk? I'll let him finish, and we'll go on to the proof.
He wasn't taking it all that seriously. That's not the interview that you're looking. It's not the response you're looking for from a potential suitor, from somewhere you plan to go play. Now, I think it's also important, because I'm sure people pull clips and have all sorts of things to say. It's very important, and hear me when I say this. There was no bad behavior. There was nothing disrespectful said or done. There was no kind of altercation. And it wasn't like Good Will Hunting when Ben Affleck went in for Matt Damon and put his feet up on the desk and yelled, "Retainer! Retainer!"
Now, and again, this is a different culture, so they got their own jokes. They go with the Good Will Hunting. I've never seen that movie. But a lot of us were making the joke about Bobby Shmurda, you know what I'm saying, running in there, I'm going to come in there, I'm going to rap to him. Like, he had to be doing that. So, two things. First off, because we're about to get into some proof. First off, again, like I alluded to, specifically, nothing disrespectful. No, and I said this back when this first happened, when this video first came out in March. Nothing disrespectful. No confrontation. He even points out, but it wasn't nothing like he was so crazy and it was that disrespectful. So I'm asking you, what is so bad? If this is the intel that we got from, again, let's just be the worst case scenario. You think Shedeur is a second round quarterback. Let's just worst case scenario. Second round quarterback. Cool. You're telling me an interview in which they say it's the worst one ever. It's the worst of all time. But no altercation happened. There was no disrespect. There was nothing over the top. Even though I know there's the headphone claim or whatever, I haven't been able to find anything reputable. At least Todd McShay is saying it. I know he's saying it anonymously. I haven't really seen anything reputable. He had headphones on during the meeting. I haven't seen that one. But that's another thing. Headphones on during the meeting. Which I have to admit, headphones on during the meeting, that's disrespectful. I mean, that's unprofessional. But it's not you. But you see how it's not adding up. That don't make no sense. Y'all remember when was it Reuben Foster? Y'all remember when Reuben Foster like punched somebody at the combine? That was fucking crazy. Oh my God. The people who are letting the NFL, and we have to we're over here picking and looking for, I don't know. He kind of hurt my feelings. Reuben Foster was punching NFL staff, dog. What are we talking about? Are we serious? What's the conversation that we're having? So these are the lies. Those are the lies. Here are some, I'm not sure if I would say proof, but here are maybe some of the only reasons there, because there's only a few reasons. Some of the only reasons why you might have a problem with Shedeur. This is what y'all got a problem with. Like, let's be honest. You don't like that he throws his wrist up at these boys. You don't like how competitive he is. So when y'all talk about being humbled or humbling, I want it to be known that these are people who don't watch Shedeur, because he's always been humble in post-game interviews. He's always been humble in interacting with teammates. But after a win, after a in-state rivalry that was talking about your dad, oh yeah, we gonna get it popping. Yeah, because I don't know if y'all remember, but we play football. I'm not one of those people that say this generation, but my God, I'm sure all those GMs are older than me. Y'all are soft, because there's no way that somebody who has the balls to go up to Arizona State student station and be like, hey, yo, what's down? Someone who has the confidence pregame, I'm not going to be scared. I'm the quarterback. I'm walking up to you. I heard y'all was talking all that. I'm coming to your face. What's up? Is that what you don't want on your team? You don't want people who want to get after it? So again, those might be the only things, maybe they're mad about this. Maybe they're mad that Deion Sanders said he'll be a top 5 pick. Maybe they're mad about that. Maybe that's the reason why the lies happen. But as we go through our proof, this video is getting a little long. We only got like 3 minutes to go through our proof, but we got time. As we go through our proof, we see things like this. Jackson Dart's terrible OTAs left fans in disbelief about skipping Shadeur Sanders. Now that's a perspective piece, right? That could be a little different. How about he gets on the Browns, and this is what they got to say. It's hard not to like that guy. So if you're going to say he's entitled and arrogant, I know this is kind of off to the side. You're going to say he's entitled and arrogant. That don't add up. How about what's it called? How does Shedeur feel?
I know every day there's room for improvement in a lot of different areas in my game. So I never feel, I would say, full. I would say I'm always hungry. And it's a lot of aspects in football that you could get better at. It's weight room, it's knowing the plays, it's physically, it's throwing different. You can always get precise on more things. So I feel like I put in my day's work, but I know I'm far from where I want to be.
Yeah, because that sounds entitled. That sounds arrogant. That sounds like someone that makes you feel small, doesn't it? Yeah. How about Tommy Reese? We say he's entitled, he's arrogant, and then on top of that, because I know the other thing with the Giants one, which again is wrong. He doesn't know the play. They called him out. He got upset because they set a trap for him and he can't read offenses. Well, what does his offensive coordinator say?
He's worked his tail off. He's really putting in a lot of work, as all those guys are. But you could tell on the mental side of the game and learning the system and calling it and having that rhythm to it. He's put a lot of work and time and effort into that. And then when you do that, the game starts to slow down and you can focus on finding completions. And he's done a nice job of that as camp progressed.
So, NFL offensive coordinator with only a few reps in practice. What does he have to say? Oh yeah, he just done everything off the field to become better. Don't know if that's arrogant. Don't know if that's all these other things. But the weak arm, I clearly can't spell. What is going on? You're not supposed to look at that. The weak arm. Oh, he put that to bed. And here is this is Kurt, by the way. This is Kurt Benkirk. He had some things to say about Shedeur. He thought Shedeur wasn't even a top 5 quarterback in the draft class. And he's impressed. Because y'all tried to lie and say he didn't have any arm talent. Okay. Y'all tried to lie and say he don't got no zip. I mean, that one was a little fumbly, so, But anyway, y'all tried to lie and say he can't get the ball to where it needs to be. Come on, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then let's talk about being a bad teammate. Is Shadeur Sanders a bad teammate? How can he be?
It's real fun having those guys in the room, though, because we all are quarterbacks. We all feel, similar ways, but nobody, always talks about it. So Joe's the old guy in the room. So I joke with Joe all the time. Every day I see him. And Kenny, he had his experiences throughout his career overall. So then we just share a lot of the same things. And Dylan, of course, we're the same age group, Those guys are older. So me and Dylan, we're the same age group. So we just talk about experiences, just in college and everything so far.
That's dope. But, that's a bad teammate. This is the bad teammate.
That's good.
Oh, this was too long. Sorry, you took too long. This is the bad teammate.
Right there. Him.
He was not asking quarterback one was, but clearly he is meshing with the teammates. He's has jokes with the teammates. He is not a bad teammate. I know y'all saw a tweet one time. I know you might be judging him off of random videos you see. But over these Brown OTAs and over these mini camps, looking at these claims now, like, how insane does this look now? How insane does it look, like the fact that all of this happened based off of two coordinators with no there was no football. I mean, obviously there was a football critique, but you start the football critique off talking about how bad the interview was. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense. A lot of double negatives. I'm gonna just leave these stats that mean nothing. Apparently, I'm gonna just leave these up here. Number one, completion percentage all time. 4,000 yards, 356. You're bored. Y'all are bored of seeing how great Shedeur is. But as long as you know how great Shedeur is, I will continue to make more videos because there's more lies and more things to be debunked. If there's something in particular you want me to see or a certain lie that you want me to address, go ahead and comment it down below. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content, college football content, all football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. Continue to be great. Continue to be amazing. We'll see you next time. Peace.